Just, doing a last minute couple of checks. Now last year, a lot of you said you couldn't see the scores. So there and there. If the technology works, we should have the scoreboards, and live play will be on the big monitor there. There's a few other tweaks we've added this year, and so today is what I call Sod's Law and Technology Day. So with a bit of luck, it'll all work. I can see up the top there, ladies and gentlemen, is our where there's about 50 odd grand's worth of new equipment that we're all looking at, wondering how the hell does this work? So we're in for an interesting day today. But anyway, welcome to the Cooperative Funeral Care International Open. And like everything else that happens, I've just realised I've got on there without my script card. So I won't keep you a second. Whilst I grab it. So worried about everything working. As I was saying, welcome to the Cooperative Funeral Care Scottish International Open. And it's good to be back here in Perth. It really is. For those of you that have booked for finals day and also the Friday, please check at the desk. There are some change to the timings because we've got extra hours from the BBC television. So we've had to swap things about a bit. But we're ready to go. We're live on air on YouTube. So let's bring on your first players. Let's give a warm welcome. He's come all the way from Hong Kong. He's an overseas qualifier. Let's welcome Alex Wen. And he's former world indoor champion in 2013. He's ranked number 9 in the world. He's from Scotland. It's Stuart Anderson. They've played their trial-ins, go straight into the match, and I hand you over to commentary with Janice Gower.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to the Cooperative Funeral Care Scottish International Open 2015 here at the Dawes Centre in Perth. And for our first game here this morning, we see Scotland's own Stuart Anderson playing against a gentleman that's travelled quite a distance from Hong Kong, Alex Wen. Could be an interesting first game up. Always the first couple of games on are interesting as the crowds come in. And of course, if you want to stay with us all today, we're here. There's 7 consecutive games of singles in these first rounds, and we are live and in full HD on the World Bowls Tour YouTube streaming. Well, a bit of a nervy start there from Alex. He actually delivered the jack and it went into the ditch, which is past the honours of setting the length of jack to Stuart Anderson.
Jack length 28 metres.
All the players here get the opportunity to have a practice on the rink before they play their game. Alex has taken that opportunity and had a few practice sessions, but when you're going to the match proper, when you're playing the 2013 world champion Stuart Anderson, it'll always be a nervy start for the qualifiers. those of you joining us for the first time here. In the World Bowls Tour TV ranking events, we play 2 sets of 9 ends, and if a player wins a set and then his opponent wins the next set, we go into a 3-end tie
18
break.
inches, Stuart. Two red.
Alex needs to make a slight adjustment here. Stuart's holding 2 shots. He looks a better line, I just don't think he's adjusted his weight. Stuart just slightly over here, but he's
3 red.
holding a count of 3. As our match marker Dan Blewett has just informed us. Well, again, Alex looks on a decent line. All about his weight here. He's in the area. Yep, looks like he's
One
got
green.
shot. Couple of chances here for Stuart. He could opt to change hand and play down the backhand and try and chip Alex's bowl out, or just stick to trying to just get his weight. Yeah, he's gone for the chip. Good chance at this time of the game. Chance of 3 or 4 if he could get it. All on the weight here, Stuart. Is it making the trip? No, you could see the line was very good for what he needed, but
1 shot, Alex Wen.
an extra couple of feet would have done him. So that's opening shot to the man from Hong Kong. 1-0 after 1 end in this opening game of the Cooperative Funeral Care Scottish International Open.
Jack length 28 metres.
Well, Alex needs a little bit of a better opening bowl here. He saved it till his last bowl to get close in the first end. He won't want to be doing that in the second. And this is a good start. Very good start from Alex here. Stuart looks down a good track. He plays with swingy bowls here. It'll make the trip all the way back. Our graphics are showing one to green there, but I think Dan Blue, it's just had a bit of a look. It looks very tight there to me.
Both touching.
There we go, there's the answer, they're both touching. Well, Stuart can afford to reach this if they're both touching. Any sort of nudge on Alex's bowl takes the jack away from the green bowl to Stuart's red bowl. Oh, great position there, Stuart. Alex really needs to reach that last bowl of Stuart's now, or he could be in heaps of trouble if Stuart just chips onto the green bowl with his next bowl. Stuart opting to just come and have a look at this. Not sure what Alex was trying to do with that. It obviously wasn't what he intended to do. And it still leaves it wide open now for Stuart to just reach that green bowl. Slight chip on it, brings the jack back to his two bowls. Doesn't need a lot of alteration on his last delivery. Looks under the line to me, Stuart. For those of you out there that always ask us what bowls the players are playing with, Stuart Anderson plays with Taylor Ace, size 4s, and Alex Wen plays with Drake's Pride Professional size 3s. Looks a good track from Alex here. Depends on his pace. This is going to finish in a good place. That's a very good bowl there. It takes away the chance of Stuart making a count of 3. This looks down a good track. This looks very good. All he needs is a little touch on that green bowl. Oh, just fallen short. This could be a first job for the feeler gauges for the umpires. Though Dan Blewett did think that they were both touching. Yeah, Stuart Anderson's called the umpire to come and have a look at this. Our umpire is Alan Thornhill. I'll put those white markers between the jack and the bowls to see if there's a gap. And the white markers helps them see if there is a gap.
One shot, Stuart Anderson.
So there was obviously a slight gap between the jack and the green bowl, and Stuart Anderson's red bowl was touching the jack. So that's 1 to Stuart Anderson. So that ties the scores up at 1-1 after 2 ends. Of course, at the WBT televised events here, we work under the shot clock rule. You can see the 30 at the back of your screen there. And that counts down as soon as a player's bowl comes to rest.
29.5 metres.
His opponent has 30 seconds to deliver his bowl. So Stuart bowls this bowl, and as soon as this bowl comes to rest, Alex Wen will have 30 seconds to deliver his bowl, or it will become a dead bowl. You see the shot clock counting down. They do have a chance to extend that shot clock by calling a timeout, which gives them an extra 30 seconds, which gives them a whole minute. At points in time during the game when they feel that they need to use those timeouts. Still not just quite hit the consistent pace,
Your ball
Stuart.
is 2.5 feet past jack high. 1 red. One green.
And just needs to ease up a touch here from Stuart.
1 green.
Alex opting to stay on his forehand. What he doesn't want to do on the forehand is just trail the jack to Stuart's, but a closer bowl would see him well. I think he's just dropped the weight here. Well, Stuart just needs a slight adjustment on his last delivery. Just a touch on that jack would get him a 2. Well, looks down a very good line. All on his pace, just needs to ease a touch.
One green.
It's still 1 green. He'll be disappointed with that, Stuart. He would have hoped to have just touched that jack, or even reached his own ball and just sat off it. All the qualifiers come through a very, very tough, gruelling PBA qualifying process. That's the Professional Bowls Association. All the countries have associations that you can become a member of, and you too could be here playing against the top 16 in the world. And that's what Alex Wen has achieved. He won the Hong Kong qualifier.
1 shot, Alex Wen.
And now he takes lead on Stuart Anderson in the first set. Leads 2-1 after 3 ends. It's a perfect start for Alex here, just holding Stuart to the 1 shot. Stuart will be disappointed with his start, but you always get the feeling that these top players, and Stuart's currently ranked 9 in the world, as soon as he finds his length and line. Well, not the best of opening leads there from Alex this time. Gives Stuart a huge opportunity. Just settle, find his line and weight. Better opening bowl here from Stuart Anderson. Those of you that are tuning in overseas, in particular in Hong Kong, welcome to the World Bowls Tour. our YouTube live and in full HD streaming. A question that has been asked is about the bowls the players are playing with. If you're top of the draw, you play with red bowls and wear a red shirt, and if you're bottom half of the draw, the bottom player in the draw, you play with green bowls and wear a green shirt. And that helps us for the TV and to be able to see who's holding shots. World Bowls Tour carry a bank of pool bowls, so those overseas players, when they arrive, they have the opportunity to try out various sets of bowls if they haven't the red and green bowls themselves. The likes of Stuart Anderson will have his own red and green set. Most of the top 16 do have.
A foot short of jack high.
Stuart looks close here, just get round the back of that bowl.
2 red and a measure.
Good ball from Stuart. Alex might be tempted to play a little bit of a trail here. It'll look like a good target from the mat. Just reach into it, yard over. It doesn't really matter which hand he plays on. Any connection would take Stuart's bowls out the head. Gives himself a chance of a jack trail as well. Just on the high side. They're not the easiest shots to play on the portable rink. Stuart's got a chance of a 3 or a 4 here now.
You favour 3.
Yeah, Dan's saying that he favours 3 at the moment, so all Stuart has to do is draw a similar bowl to his last. I was mentioning before, these are the sort of ends that Alex won't have wanted to see, because when the top 16 get on the game, they can pick up big counts. And all of a sudden, the game changes. Stuart's just a little bit heavy with that perfect line.
Two red, measure for third.
Alex has called a measure on the third bowl, so we see Alan Thornhill brought into action again. It looks like it's red.
Three shots, Stuart Anderson.
Yeah, that 3 shots to Stuart Anderson on the 4th end of this first set gives Stuart a 4-2 lead. He'll feel a little bit more comfortable now with that. Alex is very fortunate not to have got away with a drop of 4 there, but he'll want to get back in right at this next end. Don't let Stuart get away from you.
Jack leg 29.5 metres.
Stuart favouring to stick to this longer length jack. Not a bad opener, it's still a couple of foot there. Alex just overplayed it here, I think. Very nervy opening set here for both players, I think. Never easy to be the first up. It's a bit like they say on the X Factor, you never really want to be the first act going on, and Stuart got that draw this year. The first of the top 16 to take on the challenge of the World Bowls Tour season. If you stay with us today, we have a match straight after this where we see new into the top 16 from Blackpool Mark Dawes, playing English qualifier Dave Richardson. And then we continue after 2 o'clock this afternoon with 5 consecutive games.
2 red, your last bowl 2.5 feet.
And some quality
Your
players all
first bowl
round.
just under 2 feet.
So if you love your bowls, stick with us for the day. Stuart looks a very good line here with his swingy bowls. Should make it back to the
3
middle.
red.
Alex really needs to be getting a bowl in here now somewhere. Otherwise you start to put yourself under all sorts of pressure with your last bowl. We've all been there. It's not a place we like to be. Try and alter something with your third bowl, and he's overplayed this. Oh, Stuart will know he just wants to get another shot in the head there, another count. Try and give Alex nothing to play off, nothing to edge off. This is a very good bowl from Stuart.
4 red.
Nothing to edge off. This is a very good bowl from Stuart. Right.
4 red.
Change his hand here because there is the back bowl of Stuart's to rest off, which would cut the count down. He's favoured playing the forehand. Looks like he's playing the forehand again. He's got to adjust on his last bowl. Got to adjust, or he drops a huge count. And at end 5, you don't want to be doing that. Well, line looks all right. I think it might still be a 2.
Two shots, Stuart Anderson.
That gives Stuart a 6-2 lead after 5 ends. Don't forget we play 2 sets of 9 ends here, and if necessary a 3-end tie break. He didn't look too happy with that delivery, didn't Stuart?
Jack length 29.5 metres.
Stuart won the World Singles back in 2013. Beat fellow Scott and one of the legends of the game, Paul Foster, in that final. It was one of the best games of bowls I've ever witnessed. And Stuart came out top dog on that day. And Paul Foster takes the rink here himself on Monday afternoon, when we go live with BBC Two Scotland. Monday afternoon you've got BBC Two Scotland's coverage as well as all games still in full HD with the World Bowls Tour YouTube streaming. And if you can't watch the streaming but need to keep up to date with some of the scores, the World Bowls Tour has just launched a new website. You'll find that on worldbowlstour.tv. And all the latest news and information and all the match scores you'll be able to pick up from there if you can't stay with us live.
One red, measure for second.
Stuart down a nice track here again. Well, that was what we would call a fortuitous bowl. When the luck's going your way, you get those sort of edges. Alex sticking to his forehand here. I might have been tempted to change hand. But he seems to favour his forehand. Just overplayed it again, I think. Well, now Stuart's got a decision to make. Does he try and tuck this away, or does he go to cover the back? Alex has struggled with his running bowls so far. A lot of the players on the portable tend to say that you need to play with a lot of weight rather than just play just over the weight. He's gone for the option of covering the back. A 2 at this stage of the game. We're end 6. If he takes the 2, he'd be 8-2 up with 3 ends to play. Puts him in a commanding position. But Alex has got to be into there somewhere. Looks like he's sticking with his forehand. He's got his ball in his hand in the backhand, I think. So we're going with a lot of weight. He's stuck to his forehand. Just under, not the easiest shot on the portable rink to play, without a doubt. It looks like Stuart might be looking to see if it's 3.
Umpire.
Yeah, calls for umpire.
2 red, measure for third.
Alan Thornhill called on. Part of our really strong umpiring team at the WBT. We have 4 umpires at each event. You've got Dan Blewett marking on the rink for this game. You've got Alan Thornhill doing the umpiring. You've got Tom Weir on the shot clock. He operates the shot clock. And we've also got Sandra McLeish here. It's her rest game, the first game up. We'll be seeing her in action in the next game.
2 shots, Stuart Anderson.
So that means that Stuart takes an 8-2 lead after 6 ends of this first set.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
Stuart sticking to the longer length jack. Just trying to get comfortable. The winner of this game will face in the second round the winner of the game with Nicky Brett and Robert Elmore. And Nick, of course, is defending champion here. He's won the event 2 years consecutively. He's going for his hat trick. We have got a lot of really good qualifiers that have come through the PBA qualifyings to get here this year. There's some really strong contenders to try and take Nick's crown off him.
2 red.
Oh, great ball from Alex there. Just when he needed it. He doesn't want Stuart to score at this end. Well, that would virtually be the first set over. Tickets are still available from the Dawes Centre here in Perth if you want to pop down and watch the action live and in the flesh, so to speak. But as mentioned, we're live on the YouTube all week for you. The countdown on the clock says 16 seconds for Stuart Anderson to deliver this bowl. Notice with Stuart over the last year, he doesn't seem to look at the clock at all. He seems to know now that he can deliver a bowl within so many seconds. A number of players have lost their bowls with the shot clock. That seemed to happen with the top 16 in the early days when we were just getting used to it. Stuart's not one of the ones that's been fazed by it at all.
1 red and a measure.
That ball of Stuart certainly makes a big change to this now. Having a look here.
1 shot, Stuart Anderson.
Stuart's just accepting the 1 shot there. That gives him the 9-2 lead he needs. There's only 2 ends left. He's 7 shots up. Alex needs some sort of count here now to keep him in this first set.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
Yeah, Stuart's sticking to this longer length jack. He's getting a bit more comfortable now. It's getting warm out there by the looks of Alex. It's quite warm in the centre. Say, come on down and have a sit in the crowd and experience the atmosphere here. Stuart's definitely settling into his length and line now. Alex looks to be just under the line here. But Stuart's finding his line and length now, just a slight bit under, but still all the balls that are in that 2 feet vicinity put all the more pressure on Alex. Stuart only needs a count, even if it's a 1 here, to take the opening set of this opening game in the Cooperative Funeral Care Scottish International Open 2015.
Two red. Alex's last bowl is 8 inches shorter jack high.
Very close again here, Stuart. If he tucks that jack, which he has done,
3 red.
well, I think this first set party might be over for Alex. Awesome bowl there from the 2013 World Champion. Alex is on a better line here. Oh, great effort. Great effort, and it does give him a chance with his last bowl.
2 red.
Stuart still holds the count he needs.
Timeout called.
There you go, that's the first timeout called. You'll see the clocks change now. He's now got 54 seconds to deliver his bowl. It just gives him the chance to just focus and make sure he gets this right. And this end could finish a set off for Stuart, so he wants to make sure he positions this bowl perfectly. He's just gone for a back bowl. Right, Alex, you've got to try and turn your own bowl into the head here. There's a chance if he turns his own bowl and gets the side red bowl and a little bit of the jack, he could even pick up a 3, but he'd have to be perfect. He's giving it a buzz, just on the wide side.
2 shots on the first set. Stuart Anderson.
There you go, confirmation.
Stuart has 4 timeouts remaining.
Stuart wins the first set 11-2 and still has 4 timeouts remaining. He's used 1. All the players get 5 timeouts throughout the game to use any point in time they want. They can use consecutive timeouts if they would like, which would give them a couple of minutes to play a bowl if it really is that essential to make sure he gets it perfectly right. Give yourself a bit of time.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
Well, again, Stuart sticking to his favoured longer length jack. legs just under the line here. A tad short as well. He doesn't want to set off the second set like he finished in the first. A lot of the players say you've got to think about the second set as being a fresh start. Clean slate.
One red.
Great ball from Stuart there. Even if it sits down and touches the jack, it's in a perfect position. Let me see it again. Perfect bowl. Well, Stuart, all you have to do is repeat that delivery. It was very good. Something hiding the jack now would be the request he'll have in his head, I think. Stuart just missed out on the final selection for the Commonwealth Games squad that won all those medals for Scotland, but he's well in with the shout for all the upcoming outdoor championships. And I noticed that the head coach for Scotland, the new head coach for Scotland, John Price, is actually in the crowd watching one of his players.
One shot to Stuart Anderson.
So Stuart takes the opening blood at this first end of the second set. The count of 1.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
Still sticking to the longer length jack. Alex definitely favours his forehand. Just looks to be short again. Good line. There we go. There's the picture for you. That's John Price. You regular bowls viewers will be surprised to hear that John Price is now the head coach for the Scottish team, but he took over from David Gawley earlier this year. All his experience will, I'm sure, be well utilised. And a very, very strong Scottish outdoor setup. When you've got the likes of the players, Stuart Anderson, Alex Marshall, Darren Burnett, Paul Foster, Colin Walker, I could go on forever naming the good players outdoors in Scotland.
2 red.
And John Price himself is playing here. He plays tomorrow afternoon against Australian ex-Lancashire lad David Holt. Well, Stuart will just be wanting to, again, close this head down now for Alex with his last bolt. Oh, great bolt. Not stuck it too far.
3 red.
Now surely Alex will change his hand here. It's got to be the backhand here, Alex. You've got Stuart's back bowl to rest off to get second bowl, or even
Timeout called.
perfect draw would get you shot. Yep, he's setting up for the backhand. Well, looks to be that little bit wide again. As soon as you start to play with any sort of weight on the portable rink, you've got to really get the
3
line
shots
right.
to Stuart Anderson. Alex has 4 timeouts remaining.
So that 3 shots gives Stuart Anderson, world number 9, a 4-0 lead in this second set of the first game here at the Dawes Centre in Perth.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
Well, again, Stuart's finding his line here now. Don't forget to stay with us after this game for Mark Dawes versus Dave Richardson. 2 Englishmen battling it out in the next game here at the Scottish International Open. Alex just missing the jack. Well, he got a piece of the jack, but just not getting it whole. And close again here, Stuart. This looks like a nice high line. All on his pace here. Oh, just lacking, Alex. It was a very, very good line, that. So
16 inches.
force Stewart to change his hand here. Very close here, Alex. Another touch on the jack. He was really very unlucky there. He wanted
1 green.
a little bit of an edge off Stewart's shot bowl to straighten him up. Because there is a chance for Stewart here, but apparently he's holding shot, is Alex. Stewart was right down to 6 seconds there on the shot clock. I've seen him closer to 1 and 2 seconds at times. Here, very close. He could have just been unlucky there and flicked the jack over to Alex's other bowl. I'm sure Dan Blewett will tell us shortly.
One red. One shot to Alex Webb.
Jack length 27.5 metres.
Well, I thought Alex might have swapped the length a bit more there. He has brought the mat up a touch. Looks to be under the line here. Stewart's just lacking a little bit of weight here as well. His line was very good. Look, the change of length. It's the first time they've played anything sort of under 28. Looks better here. Yeah, good ball, Alex.
2 green. One green.
Well, Stuart just fell short there, so Alex has got another opportunity of getting another bowl in the head. Still holds the one. Well, Stuart having a good look at that. Doesn't really want Alex to pick up another count. He's counting down his time here now. 14, 13, 12. Still got enough time here. When the shot clock came in at first, a lot of the players worked it out, timed their delivery. Oh, great effort by Stuart. Really wanted that a bit more solid connection. Can't tell from our commentary position here. Dan Blewett will let us know shortly. Oh, Stuart favours his own.
Umpire. Measure for shots.
Umpire being called here, and I don't blame Alex. At this stage of the game, he really wants this shot.
Blocked. Touching. One shot, Stuart Anderson.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
As that count to Stuart's made him go back to his favoured long length, and at 5-1 up after 4 ends of the second set, the world number 9 is certainly in control of this game now. Alex, he's played some better bowls these last couple of ends. Needs it to continue now. Looking good here, just needs to run a touch. Ball there from Stuart. Crucial end here, really.
One green.
Well, Stuart.
2 red.
Well, Stuart. Great effort here. Good ball there now. Alex in all sorts of problems with his last ball. Crucial end here in the game. Alex calling a timeout. Like I say, this is a crucial point in the game here for him. He can't afford this count drop. 5-1 down. Second set. Against the world number 9, Stuart Anderson. On a good track, on a very good track here. Can you just roll, Alex? Oh, what a great effort.
1 shot, Stuart Anderson. Alex has 3 timeouts remaining.
That gives Stuart Anderson a 6-1 lead after 5 ends of the second set. He won the first set 11-2. We played 2 sets of 9 ends. And if necessary, a 3-end tiebreak here at the World Bowls Tour ranking televised events. This is the first one of our 2015-16 season. And we're here live at the Dawes Centre in Perth for the Scottish International Open, sponsored by the Cooperative Funeral Care. Great sponsors of bowls. They do a lot of grassroots bowl sponsoring, as well as these huge televised events. Great reply from Alex there. He needs a few more of those. Well, Stuart's on a very good line here. Just failed. Just finished short.
Just the 1 green. Your bowl, 15 inches. 1 green.
Well, Alex could have really done with getting a second bowl in there. A count of 1 really is not going to do him many favours. He needs to win this set to take it into a tie break. Stewart's down a good line again by the look of it. Very close here. Can he tip his own ball down? Can he sit his own ball down? Well, that might have made a difference. Can't tell from the angle here. Oh, he's obviously just tipped the jack back up the rink slightly to Alex's bowl. But this makes it very, very hard for Alex to get a count here. Needs to really be looking at trying to get 2.
One shot, Alex went.
1 shot to Alex. Leaves Stewart 6, 2 up with 3 ends to play. There's 4 shot lead with 3 ends to play.
Jack, 27.5 metres.
Alex has tried to shorten it up a touch again. I think I'd have been tempted to try and go quite a bit shorter. Good opening ball there from Alex. Still with 3 ends to go. He needs a count of... Well, he needs to count at this end for a start, but he also probably needs to count a 2. And Stewart's not making his life easy, but that's the work of a top 16 player. Stewart's from the Auchinleck Club indoors, hometown Ayrshire. And Alex is from Chaiwan in Hong Kong. A few miles different to travel to the venue for these 2 gentlemen from their home. And Stuart opting to come and have a little look at this. WBT rules allow the players to go up and down the rink as often as they want, as long as they've played their bowl within that 30-second shot clock. Whereas a lot of other events, they only allow you to go up to the head after the third bowl, unless you've requested to visit the head before.
One red.
Over the course of the next 2 days, I've got various people joining me in the commentary box. I have the delightful pleasure of the company of Dan Blewett for a couple of games, who's one of our umpires. So if anybody out there has any questions for the umpires, just give us a shout and we'll put them to Dan live on air. I also have several other players coming in to join us.
Very close for second. One red, measure for second.
Well, Stuart's holding one red here. He doesn't need to do anything silly. One would give him a 7-2 lead. Virtually kills off the second set. And he delivered that on 3 seconds. Like I say, after the match, if you're looking for the scores, if you've not been able to follow us all the time on the YouTube, don't forget we have a new website, worldbowlstour.tv.
Two shots to Stuart Anderson.
That's 2 shots to Stuart. That gives him an 8-2 lead after 7 ends. He's 6 up with 2 ends to play. That means that Alex has got to try and score a 4 and a 3 to take us into a tie break. I think that's what Alex is just looking at the scoreboard there to work out what he has to do. But I think we're going to see the world number 9 stepping into the second round here at the Dawes Centre.
Your bowl, 2.5 feet. Alex's, 15 inches.
The winner of this game will next play on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So you'll be able to see that game on the streaming or on BBC Two Scotland. As I mentioned before, the winner of this game faces either defending champion Nick Brett or City of Ely's Robert Elmore.
One red. You are 12 inches past jack high. Two red.
Yeah, I think it's looking very, very dark here for Alex now. Don't forget this isn't the last game here today on YouTube for you. Straight after this we'll see Blackpool's Mark Dawes take on Dave Richardson, the English qualifier. Stuart looks to be a little under the line here. Doesn't need to worry too much though. Well, I'm not sure what Alex is going to do to conjure up a 3 here. I think it might be the technical term hit and hope. Not sure why he's just played the draw, he needed a count.
One shot to Alex Wynn, second set in the match to Stuart Anderson.
That's Stuart Anderson through. Thank you for joining us this morning. Join us again after this short break for Mark Dawes versus Dave Richardson.
Once more, ladies and gentlemen, give both players your appreciation. Your next match will commence in a couple of minutes. The players will have their trial ends before we start.
Gizmo.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, ready for your next match of the day at the Cooperative Funeral Care Scottish International Open. So without further ado, let's give our players a really warm welcome. He's the National Champion of Champions, winner 2010. He's from Lewes, East Sussex, qualifier. Let's welcome David Richardson. And up against him, ladies and gentlemen, he's the British Isles Singles Champion 2014, an English international from Blackpool. It is Mark Dawes. Played their trial ends. We'll go straight into the match and I'll hand you over to commentary with Janice Gower.
Well, good morning those that are joining us for the Mark Dawes versus David Richardson All England first round here at the Cooperative Funeral Care Scottish International Open 2015. We're live and in full HD on the World Bowls Tour YouTube streaming for you for the entirety of this tournament. Thank you for joining us.
28.5 metres.
I'm sure there's some English supporters out there in the hometown of Lewes for Dave Richardson, who's one of the PBA qualifiers. Going through the gruelling qualification program we have at the Professional Bowls Association here in England. There are PBA tournaments all over the world, and the qualifiers get to come here and meet one of the top 16. And Mark Dawes is the new kid on the block. He's new into the top 16. He fought his way through the qualifiers, won a tour card last year, and managed to get enough ranking points to get him into the top 16. And Dave Richardson's got off to a flyer here. Two great opening deliveries. Mark Dawes is in the area here. Very close.
One red.
Our marker, Alan
Bowl
Thornhill,
short, Jack high.
has just indicated that that's one to mark, and there you see it again. What a great delivery from Mark Dawes.
David, second bowl. It's almost a bowl past Jack high.
Our markers at the WBT have got to be very, very quick to answer the players' questions because of the shot clock. They don't want to take any of the players' time up. Oh, I wonder if he's just done enough there to... Yeah, Alan Thornhill confirms he's just done enough to tip the jack to his own bowl. Great opening end from Dave Richardson here at his first World Bowls Tour event.
One shot, David Richardson.
So David Richardson takes the opening end of this first set. Here at the World Bowls Tour televised ranking events, we play 2 sets of 9 ends, and if necessary, a 3-end tie break.
Jet wind 28.5 metres.
When Mark got the Cooperative Funeral Care Tour card, that got him into all 3 of the ranking events for last season. And here last year he managed to get to the quarter-finals. He was unlucky to lose in the first round at the Worlds, but got to the
80 metres.
quarter-finals of the International Open as well, which the combined total of his points got him into that top 16. One of the most feared bowlers on the circuit. I don't think he'll mind me saying, but one of the nicest chaps. The high line there needs to run just a touch, Mark. Yep, probably done enough.
One. It's 8 inches short of Jack high. One red.
Dave Richardson plays his indoor bowls at Crawley. Plays with Taylor Ace, size 4s. Mark Dawes plays with Henselite Tigers. And is from the Blackpool Newton Hall Club in Blackpool, where we go in March for the International Open. They are the host club. And Dave Richardson's drawn a superb bowl there off the forehand. So a big shout out to all those at Crawley and Blackpool Newton Hall, who I'm sure are shouting their man on from their sofas or work desks. Hello to you all. Hope you're having a good morning, and hope you're enjoying the live streaming here on YouTube for the World Bowls Tour.
One shot, David Richardson.
Well, two very good opening ends here from these guys. Dave Richardson scored a single count at either end, but takes a 2-0 lead.
Jack width 27 metres.
Now we hear the Scottish tones of Tom Weir, our match umpire. His first full season on the tour for Tom. He joined us last year. All the umpires have to go through rigorous trials. It's a very, very pressurised job out there. You have to be so accurate. And as mentioned before, with the shot clock so quick for responses.
Two and a half feet.
Dave just tried to play a runner there, and they're not the easiest shots to play on this rink. Mark's having a good think here what to cover. Well, he's not happy with that delivery. Very natural, quick delivery, Mark Dawes. A very strong crown green area, Blackpool. You find most of the crown green bowlers that play indoors a very, very quick delivery. A shot clock tends not to even worry them at all. Very good bowl there from Dave Richardson. Positive bowl, try and make a change to the head, and does so. Very experienced bowler, Dave Richardson. He's played in the PBA qualifiers for some years. So sometimes you have to play 4 or 5 games in a day to qualify.
4 timeouts remaining.
Mark just calling a timeout there, which gives him an extra 60 seconds to deliver his bowl. The players here at the World Bowls Tour ranking events get 30 seconds from the last bowl coming to rest to deliver their bowl, unless they call one of their 5 timeouts that they get in a game, and the timeouts give them an extra 60 seconds. And good bowl there from Mark. Looks like it's just made it. It might just sat down.
One shot, David Richardson.
Just sat out there. Mark was very unlucky. Dave Richardson takes a 3-0 lead after 3 ends of this first set here at the Cooperative Funeral Care Scottish International Open 2015.
Track length 28.5 metres.
Great opener again from Dave Richardson. I think this is panning out to be a tough game for Mark Dawes. Looks on a very good track. Mark's changed bowls this year. He's part of the Team Henselite now. So this is his first full game on the portable with his new bowls.
Two feet.
Dave Richardson won the National Champion of Champions in 2010. Mark Dawes has a long list of nationals and British Isles and international caps to his name. He's the British Isles winner back in 2014. He's won the national mixed fours twice. Of course, he didn't do that single-handedly, and I'm sure that was down to the girls at the front end, carrying the boys at the back. That'll have created a little bit of a stir at the Blackpool club, no doubt. But no, Mark's won many things over the years and certainly deserves his place in this top 16. The players, various different things on the player profiles. Always brings a smile to my face that Blackpool lad Mark Dawes names his favourite food as ice creams. I'm sure he enjoys sharing an ice cream with his 2 sons, Thomas and Freddie, and I'm sure they're out there supporting their dad, shouting at the TV. Needs to run, Mark. He'll be disappointed there. That was a spare that Mark Dawes would have normally taken. It gets him on the scorecard 3-1 after 4 ends to Dave Richardson. Suspension marks a crown green bowler.
27.5 metres.
For those bowls enthusiasts out there, you'll probably remember another guy from Blackpool who turned his hand from crown green to indoor bowls, and also managed the Blackpool Borough Club, a chap called David Holt, who emigrated and now lives in Australia, and he's back here this weekend. He qualified out of Australia and he plays the legend that's John Price tomorrow afternoon. It's very interesting hearing a Lancashire accent with an Australian twist to it. Well, he had a good glare at that bowl, did Mark?
Your bowl, 2 feet. Slightly past, 1 inch past jack line.
The opening encounters in these World Bowls Tour events are never easy. All the qualifiers now are quality players who just want their break into top 16, and Mark's the proof that it can happen. Well, he didn't look too happy with that. Just trying to have a look at it. We seem to have a technical problem with the camera at the top end for us. Sorry about this, folks. If you just bear with us on this, ladies and gentlemen, we have a centre camera. We're not sure quite what's happened to the end cameras, but as we mentioned earlier in the day, day one often tends to be Gremlin Day. Just wait to find out off Alan Thornhill what the situation is. Ah, there we go. Marvellous. I can well and truly honestly say now it's definitely one shot to Mark Dawes at the moment. Oh, well played, Dave Richardson. You just managed to see that shot, and it's one to Dave.
1 shot, David Richardson.
After 5 ends of this first set, it's been counts of 1 all the way, and Dave Richardson leads 4-1 after 5 ends. There we go, good shot there of our marker, Alan Thornhill.
Jack length 29 metres.
Well, Mark, you need to be running with this. Mark won't be happy with this at the moment.
Last bowl.
Telling his body language he's not comfortable yet out there. Mark, if you've adjusted your weight, your line's the same. He's still a touch short. Better bowl though. Dave's very good at converting these. Doesn't hang about. Just let it slip a little bit this end. This is when Mark Dawes needs to make the most of his opportunities. Mark looks on a good line again. Better ball here from Mark. Still not reached past the jack, so that's why he'll be shaking his head a little bit. Don't forget we're with you all day today. 5 games starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon with Andy Thompson versus Brett Arkley. And Dave Richardson's gone for dead draw here. He's just overplayed it. That's the fear with shots like that. You just don't want to be short again and just overreach. Good opportunity here for Mark. And he'll know it. On that high line again. Oh, Mark. Now, that's very uncharacteristic.
3 shots to Mark Dawes.
But the 3 helps his cause definitely. It puts it 4 across after 6 ends now in this first set. We play 2 sets of 9 ends, and if necessary, a 3-end tie break.
Jack length 26.5 metres.
If you haven't the opportunity to watch all the games here, live on the World Bowls Tour YouTube streaming, we've this week launched the new World Bowls Tour website, which is worldbowlstour.tv, where you'll get all the latest information, match reports and scores from all the events and news on forthcoming events and ways you can get involved. Well, Dave's played a better ball there. Might have just got shot.
One green.
Ends left to play. They often say in the 9-end sets we play here at the TV ranking events that the 7th end is obviously a crucial end. In qualifiers we play a very short format which is 7 ends.
15 inches short of Jack high.
When you get to the TV event, when you've managed to qualify, you get an extra couple of ends. But when you're 4 across, you don't want to be dropping a big count. But it's been a very, very intriguing game, this. All England tie, South versus North.
One green.
Well, the shot clock's counting down. No, Stuart Anderson got within 6 seconds to deliver his bowl. And that was on 7. Looks just a little bit wide.
One shot, David Richardson.
David Richardson picks up another 1 shot. All his counts have been in 1s, and he has a 5-4 lead after 7 ends in the first set. 2 ends to play. David lists his hobbies as football
Jack 28.5 metres.
and watching all sports. Good opener here. Certainly doesn't seem to be nervous out there. Well, a good reply there from Mark. Great ball here from Dave. Like I say, certainly seems to, for a qualifier, you often see nerves out there, but he seems to have settled down. A very confident player is Dave. Mark's not frightened at running at things, needs a connection, just missed it. Often the top players, if they see the heads building up against them, they try and shake something up early doors. Disappointed with that runner. Mark normally very accurate with those sort of shots. Plays 3 in the international side, so he's used to playing conversion and running shots. Having a run again. More positive that time. That's the result. It might not look nice, it might still look like 2 down, but definitely opens it up. Yeah, the jack stayed in the rink. I thought it might have gone on the respot, but it's actually stayed in. I can just about see it from the commentary position here. So that's why this will look a weird line, because it's really, really just right on the strings is the jack. That's a very good bowl. That's probably 3 to Dave Richardson at the moment, but there is plenty of room there for Mark. He's certainly opened up the head. Looks an interesting line. He's not happy with it. He's not happy with it at all. Well, he might have dropped a big count here, Mark Dawes. I don't often say that in commentary.
2 shots, David Richardson.
That 2 shots to David Richardson gives him a 7-4 lead after 8 ends of the first set. That's 3 up playing the last. Dave Richardson is in control here. Looks calm. He just has to stop a 3.
Jack length 28.5 metres.
Feet.
Well, nervy last end here for both players. Dave Richardson in the driving seat. Looking very confident out there.
1 red.
It's 1 to Mark Dawes, but Mark Dawes needs a 3 to tie this set.
Yes.
Well, I mentioned before that we had some tasty ties on the cards today. This is one of them. Now Mark's given himself a chance there. A back bowl always helps.
1 red.
Dave Richardson needs to just get one close in the head here, put the pressure all back on Mark. He's just dropped short. He's given Mark a chance here. He might as well take his chance. I often say with these sets games you don't often get chances, and when they do appear you need to be positive and take them. He's watching this. He's watching this. It's very close. Sure, Alan Thornhill will tell us in a moment what the situation is. Just 1 to Mark at the moment, just didn't do enough. David will be disappointed with that. He needed to get something a bit closer because Mark's still got a huge opportunity here. Just took that jack now. Well, Mark, big ball here. Well, his body language says he doesn't like it. He's got to reach because he's got to try and get a piece of the jack, but looks to have just overplayed it there.
One shot, Mark Dawes, first set, David Richardson.
One shot to Mark Dawes, and Dave Richardson takes the first set, 7-5.
Jack length 28 metres.
Well, Dave Richardson will be looking to start the second set. As he finished the first, he played very well, very confidently. I'm delighted to be joined in the commentary box by one of our match officials, Dan Blewett. Welcome to the commentary box, Dan.
Thank you, Janice.
Been an interesting game here so far. Dave Richardson has been very, very confident out there. Yeah, Dave Richardson's drawn another shot here. Great ball, like I say, looking very confident out there. Mark Dawes has really got to try and find something here. Having one of our little gremlins in the commentary box, if you can hear the tinkering with wires. Dan has joined me, but just having a gremlin with a headset, but I'm sure he'll be back with us shortly.
It's half an inch short of jack high.
And Mark's put that in a very good position. He wants to be making sure he's on this scoreboard in the second set. Well, Mark, can you make the most of this? It's not easy to count a second shot. Looks on the wide line here. Needs to come back in a bit.
One shot, Mark Dawes.
Well, 1 shot to mark. That means he takes the opening end of the second set.
I think I'm sorted.
Are you back with us?
I think so.
Just a bit of a headset technical issue there, but I'm just saying, very, very good game so far this. Dave Richardson has certainly settled into the game. You normally expect to see a little bit of nerves from the qualifiers, but not from Dave.
I've not seen Dave bowl before, so he's new to me, obviously new to this.
Jack lane 27 metres.
I do warn you, Dan, we have put out an ask to any viewers out there that have got any umpire type related questions, that if they message us in on the live chat, we'll get the questions to you and I'll put you on the spot with any questions they happen to have for us.
Oh, I'm sure we'll get some difficult ones in. Yeah, please send them in, we'll try and answer them.
Good line again from Dave there. Still a little touch short. Mentioned to the viewers before about the shot clock. Stuart Anderson got within 6 seconds with 1 bowl, but most of them seem to be settling to the shot clock quite nicely now.
Yeah, I think Stuart wasn't in danger. I don't think he was fully aware all the time, in control of that game, I think, completely. I think he used 1 timeout.
Yeah, I think they both had 1 timeout in the first game. We've just gone through the gap there, Dave.
Stuart did say to me during the game that he just didn't know what Alex was going to play. These qualifiers, they don't know them. Don't know what game they're going to bring with them.
No, I think it's a little bit different when you get an English or British qualifier. They know what you're going to get and it's a real strong qualification, but some of the overseas, I mentioned it to Stuart before he played, they're never easy games for the top 16. They don't know what they're going to face.
No, and you just want to get through that first banana skin sometimes, and then you can settle for the second game.
Well, David's just fallen short with that. He's played so well in this first set. Sometimes you do find, and it happens in qualifiers, that after a first set, when you've won a first set and it's been a real tight first set, you sometimes just step back because you know you're guaranteed that tie break. Doing that's let Mark Dawes in here.
And that does give Mark the impetus and momentum for the tie break. So it can work against you if you've won the first set.
Dave will probably prove us wrong here. He's played some good runners. He played some really good runners in the first set, but that didn't come off for him there. Huge chance there. Not sure whether that's 2 or 3.
2 shots, Mark Dawes.
2 shots to Mark Dawes gives him a 3-0 lead in this second set. Could we have our first tie break? One of the questions that somebody did ask earlier in the audience was, you have new microphones to put up with. Dan, they look very good. I would imagine for movements they're quite easy to cope with as well.
Yeah, once you've got used to it for the first 5 minutes, it's not too bad. They don't pinch your head too much.
Jack lane 27.5 metres.
Just have to remember that when we sniff and sneeze, we have to turn them off.
Very true. It's the same up here though.
It takes away a lot of the interference that we were having before in other arenas. I think it's been okay so far.
Yes, I think all the specs have gone up. We've got new microphones here in the commentary box, which are very, very... the slightest touch you can hear them. So coughs and sneezes not allowed. And Dave's just pulled up short there.
I was chatting to a couple of the other bowlers before I came in to the booth. They were saying that the first game seemed to be going quite well. But this game, a lot of shorter bowls being played. They're wondering whether the temperature had dropped. It was very warm for the first game. I think the aircon's gone on, which has brought the temperature down slightly.
You could be right, you would know what it was like down there actually on the rink. It was quite warm up in the commentary position first thing this morning, but these are such big arenas to try and heat. As you say, there have been quite a few shortish bowls. Dave just proving it to us there. Now Mark, can you make the most of this? These big swinging bowls. I was just saying to the viewers, this is the first time he's played a full event on the portable with the new bowls. That always takes a bit of getting used to when you've played with a different bowl for so many years.
And of course, we're used to him being in the green up until now. We've ribbed him about that relentlessly the last few days. A new qualifier to the top 16, always good to have new blood.
And it proves that the PBA system works. We've had several over the years. One of the top ranked players at the moment, Robert Paxton, he came through the PBA system, as did Nick Brett, who's currently world number 1. So pay your money to the PBA, have a go at the qualifiers, you could be here. It's nice really to see that the qualifying system does work.
Yep, plenty of opportunities out there for all these bowlers. Have a good run, win the tour card, get in all 3 events, gain some points. Before you know it, you're in the top 16.
Yes, the 2 tour cards here this week. Robert Chisholm and Gary R. Smith. Neither mugs the game. Most people will have heard of those 2 names. They've got exactly the same opportunity that Mark Dawes had last year. Tie a few games together, both perfectly capable of going on and winning their games outright. Robert Chisholm won the Welsh International Open going back a few years. Gary Smith's one of the most recognised and well-known players on the English circuit. Now Dave just needs to swing back to that back bowl of Mark Dawes's.
Just a wee bit heavy there, it's a shame. But Mark's confidence is up at the moment.
Yeah, he just changed the length slightly. They were playing quite long in the first set down, and Mark's dropped down to 26.5 metres, which could have made the difference.
Yeah, in the first game, both Alex and Stuart were playing very long jacks, and there was no change at all, which surprised me that obviously Stuart's comfortable at any length, I think, but Alex, having won a few ends, he might have changed the length, but he didn't.
Jack line 27.5 metres.
I've just gone slightly longer there, 27.5. Not a bad opening bowl, just a touch tight. Well, that looks on a better line, Mark. They often say that here at the Scottish, the portable rink plays at its slowest. At the Dewes Centre here in Perth, and we're right next door to where the ice rink is. Whether that makes a difference, I don't know.
I'm sure it has a bearing. Humidity humidity and temperature. As we all know from our own indoor rinks, it can change dramatically from morning to evening. Doors are open, doors are closed.
And of course, towards the back end of the week, when we have loads of seats filled, it gets very warm in there. Mark's opting to follow this ball up to have a look.
That's a good ball. Got a shot maybe.
One green. Last bowl, gap is 8 inches.
Now you've seen the commentary position here at Dewes. It tells you how important it is that you umpires, markers, tell us what the state of play is in the head.
Yes, we have no view of the green apart from the TV cameras.
And the angles can be very, very deceiving sometimes.
It's amazing also, spectators quite often will remark on comments we make on the green, and we will say 1 red or 2 green, and they'll say, oh, you sure that's right? I'm a bit closer than they are.
Oh, they like to be involved, and they like to be part of what's going on.
And they're always right, according to them.
Always the best bowlers are sat at the side, isn't that what the saying is?
Absolutely.
Never bowl a bad bowl when you sat at the side.
Never lost a game on the bank.
Nope, true. Oh, good bowl from Mark here.
1 red.
Dave will take his time now, I think.
He's played very
Timeout.
aggressive bowls on occasions like this from the first set.
David has 4 timeouts remaining.
I'm not sure on the angles there to see whether if he
David,
played.
bowl's fallen.
Mark's bowl's just sat down,
The shot bowl's fallen.
which gives it a totally different angle.
Just still 1.
See, I don't think he can afford to play too much weight here, or he might clip his own out the head. It looks to have just gone for the draw. He's very close. He's very close. Oh, a great effort.
Mark's looking to see if there's a second shot in there.
Oh, he's called an umpire. It's
Tom onto the green.
one question that we have had asked in the past, Dan, is, which you can answer here, is which bowl do you go to first?
There's no hard and fast rule to that, Janice. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. My preference is if there's one sat on its belly, I'll go to that one first. Other bowlers, other umpires even, go elsewhere. It's just personal preference.
1 red?
2 shots.
Sorry,
Mark
2
bowls.
red. So that puts him in command of this second set. He now has a 7-0 lead after 4 ends. Like I say, Dave looked to just take his foot off the pedal the first couple of ends when he won that first set, and just gave Mark the opportunity to step in.
Yeah, Mark turned away from that jack then. He's obviously sent it further than he wanted to.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
Well, there's the answer. He's been predominantly going 26.5 to 27.5, and he's gone a little bit further than he wanted. He's gone back to the length that Dave Richardson was playing well in the first set. But as we mentioned before, temperatures can change even in half an hour.
There we go, Mark's dropped it a metre or so short. I'm sure we get a question on this, Janice. Everything's measured out in metres on the rink, and all the measurements we give to the bowlers is in feet and inches.
That's just to keep us on our toes.
It's confuse everybody.
You see, that's exactly what Dave was doing in the first set. Very smooth delivery for a left-hander as well.
Are you saying other left-handers aren't smooth?
I'm just saying quite often you find that left-handers have got really smooth deliveries, whereas some right-handers tend to chunk them out, let's say.
Okay.
If we have our usual game towards the back end of the week, you'll see the chunk them out. Yep, back into his comfort zone here, Dave. Mark will be mad with himself for setting that jack.
There's an inch short of jack high.
The marker on the green only has 30 seconds to answer the questions for the bowler. That's the time that the bowler has, so we have to answer very, very quickly.
Well, Mark's turned his back on that. Oh dear, that's not like Mark Dawes at all. I'm sure there's a few people shouting at the TV screen in Blackpool. I know his brother John is up here with him. That's not a bad place. I think Mark will just elect to try and draw this.
It's 2 foot through. It's too green.
And two's not a disaster at this stage, but there's still a little bit of room there for a draw for Dave.
Yeah, he could make 4 of this if he was so
Mark's
inclined.
very wide here. Wow, well,
Too green.
Lovely weight, but just didn't come down.
huge opportunity here for David Richardson. There's no danger really. He could counter 3, and even if he tucks that jack a little bit, he could even get a 4 out of it, which would put him bang back in this second set.
Yeah, that jack's only got to move about 6 inches.
It looks down the right line. Needs to move now for him. Needs to move. Must have got the 3.
3 shots, David Richardson.
Let's see what happens on the next end.
Well, I think
Guessing it'll
it'll
be
be
long.
a 29 metre jack. Mark will really, yeah, he's going off to have a word with himself there. Say Dave Richardson's seemed really comfortable out there. You often see
Jack length 29 metres.
a lot of nerves in new qualifiers because he's never qualified before. Plays out of the Crawley Club at Grattan's. Good start again. Definitely favouring these longer jacks, Dan.
Yeah, Mark needs to put one very close now to get his confidence back. Doesn't want to lose this set. Can't lose this set. Wouldn't be a good start to his top 16 career.
Just that bowl to wide again. Could be interesting to talk to Mark after the game, win or lose. He just seems to have not found the lines with these new bowls yet. But Mark, the calibre of bowler that he is, I'm sure he'll find it at some point.
Short of jack high.
Of course, don't forget we're live here on the World Bowls Tour streaming in full HD for the rest of the day. We start again at 2 o'clock this afternoon with Another tasty tie, Andy Thompson versus Brett Arkley. Then we've got Mervyn King versus Graham McDougall. Jason Greenslade versus Barry Lester. Les Gillett versus Andrew Kelly. And the finale of today's games, Robert Paxton versus Gary R. Smith. Great afternoon of bowls lined up for you. And if you can't join us live, don't forget you can get the results on the new worldbowlstour.tv webpage. Dave, great line. He was just run into the back of Mark's bowl there.
2.
Mark fancying a bit of pace down the middle again. He was blocked out a little bit on both hands. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Really bad result there from Mark. A little bit of a ruse smile there. Couldn't have really gone worse. You don't expect Jacks to come back up the rink, but it was the angle he caught it. It got a edge off the other bowl to come back up to the green bowl.
Green.
Mark's got not an easy draw here. Not finding it, Dan, at all.
2 shots, David Richardson.
Well, with that 2 shots, that puts Dave Richardson firmly back in the second set. The score is now 7-5 to Mark Dawes. There's only 2 shots in it, and this is a set Mark Dawes has got to win to take us into a tie-break. Dave Richardson from Lewis won the first set 7-5, but he's currently trailing 7-5 in the second set. I think we'll see a long jack again.
Yeah, Mark will be kicking himself for that long jack on the
Jack length 28.5 metres.
fifth end.
It kind of proves sometimes about the jack, how important it is to set your own length. If the other player's just struggling to find that length. Often we speak to the top 16 about in tie breaks whether they opt to take the jack or have last bowl. But look at that. And that's how well Dave Richardson's playing on these longer jacks.
And despite only having had a few hours practice on the portable rink this week, I'm sure Dave has really found a liking for this long jack length.
It's not easy for some players to get the time off work. Oh, Mark's got a good reply there.
Best bowl Mark's played on this long length for a long time.
Yeah, nice repeat there, view of it. Not a bad one. Quite happy to watch that one again. Dave looks just a little bit under there. Thought he might have swapped his hand. Shaking his head at the back there.
It's close again if you can get around that front bowl of Dave's.
Oh, this is
Oh,
where
very
the
good.
bendy bowls come into their own.
He's not going to be happy about moving the jack out though.
No, because it means that Dave can stick to his favoured hand. His forehand, right-hander's backhand. Looks a great line here, Dan, if he's got the weight.
So
there
you're
you
going to be
go.
unfortunate. Oh, how unlucky is that?
Very unlucky.
How often do you see a bowl go through a gap like that?
It happened a couple of times in the games this
Over
morning.
2 red.
In Stewart's game, you thought Alex was just going to get the jack, and he just went through a gap.
Mark obviously needs to have a good look at this. Crucial end. Dave's got a chance
Timeout
to
call.
pick up a 3.
If Mark
Well, that's
scores
3
the
timeouts
2
remaining.
at this end, it really firmly puts the set back in his hands. But like you say, Dave was very, very close to tucking that jack with his last bowl. Doesn't need to alter his delivery much at all. Mark's elected to put a blocker, I think.
Has he elected to put a blocker in, or do you think he was short?
Oh, well, that's why there's a bit of a question mark in the back of my voice. I'm not sure on that one, because as it lies at the moment, Dave could actually play one of his little trundlers that he was so successful in the first set with.
He's got a change match on his last bowl, to be
But
honest.
even his last bowl will get round Mark's bowl there.
Looks like a normal delivery.
He's on a good track with his bowls again. He's on a very good track. Tell you what, he's close here. He's very close. What a bowl from Dave Richardson there.
Pressure on Mark again.
Well, there's a bit of room there, 18 inches or so, but he's 3 down. What can the man from Blackpool conjure up here? He's not looked over comfortable out there today. He's on a high line again, but these bowls will do it all the way. They'll swing if he's a good length. Is he here? Is he here?
I don't think he's got it. Just had a quick look over the balcony.
If he's dropped to 3 here,
3 shots, David Richardson.
which he has, he's not picked up a count at all in the last 3 ends, and that means that Dave Richardson takes the lead in the second set, 8-7 with 2 ends to play. Well, it's nervous times here now for the new World Top 16 Mark Dawes. Always said that the English qualifiers are the toughest players to get nowadays because it's so strong. That goes the same for the Australians as well. So tough to get through the qualifiers. These guys don't want to
Track
come
line
here
28 meters.
not perform, and Dave Richardson's certainly performing today. It's a good start again.
Mark didn't seem to like the look of that.
That is one of his usual good bowl looks, by the way.
Oh, is
Just
it?
thought I'd let you know. But it wasn't really. It's gone through a couple of feet, 18 inches.
You know better than I do, so I'll take your word for it.
Very emotional bowlers, us Lancashire lot, you know. Wear our heart on the sleeve. But it is pressure on Mark here. He's got to score. He's really got to score both ends to take us into a tie break.
Certainly can't afford to drop 2 and then need a 4 on the last end to force the tie break. He's
Well,
got
what's
to
his
score.
weight like here? He's short.
2 green.
the area again here. Yeah, great ball here from Dave Richardson. Well played. Got to be liking that.
3 green.
Sensibly, Mark's going to take a walk down. No point rushing this game.
He's busy shaking his head as well.
He's got all of that 30 seconds and a tie break if he needs it. Sorry, timeout, not tie break.
You get 5 of those within a game, don't they, Dan?
5 within the first 2 sets.
Timeout called.
And if you go into the tie break, you get an extra
Mark has 2
timeout.
timeouts remaining.
Used to only be 3 timeouts in the game, but that was really making it difficult for the bowlers.
Very quick on the mat is Mark Dawes to play his bowl, but he needed some thinking to.
Oh,
He's
he
not
doesn't
happy
like
with
it.
that at all.
No change on the head at all there. He's got 1 bowl to recover. At the moment, Dave holds game.
Not the ideal start, like you mentioned before, to his top 16 career. He won't be happy. The winner of this game plays the winner of the Andy Thompson-Brett Arkley game, which you'll see live on this streaming.
I think sensibly Dave's gone long, just in case the jack is trailed back through.
Well, it's a good position that as well, because even if the jack's flicked out to the side, well, Mark Dawes, this bowl to stay in. 2015 Scottish International Open, sponsored by the Cooperative Funeral Care.
It's gone back to the draw. I think we might have a buzzer in a minute. It's not stopped.
He's overplayed this.
Oh.
3 shots, 6 set, and the match to David Richardson.
I have to say, David Richardson's played exceptionally well there. Thank you very much for joining me, Dan. Thank you, viewers at home, for joining us. Join us again at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Thanks, Dan.
Bye-bye. See you later. Have lunch.
Well, once more, ladies and gentlemen, give both players a round of appreciation. And we'll have a quick word with both players, if they wouldn't mind coming down here. They obviously don't want to talk to us. They've gone, have they? Well. Okay, so we won't. All right. Well, your next session, ladies and gentlemen, starts after lunch, which is 2 o'clock this afternoon. So I hope to see you all back here for 2 o'clock. Thanks very much for coming this morning, and see you all a bit later. Thank you.